Alright, welcome back. Got a real quick video for you here today. As some of you may know, overseas they offer the MT-09 in an SP edition. That edition comes with the Öhlins suspension and a couple of extra high dollar items to make it a more premium model. And one of the things that Yamaha did with that model is they've taken the display and inverted the colors. In other words, all of the white is black and then all of the digits are illuminated white. It's a simple modification to do. All you do is remove the display and put on a linear polarizing filter. I'm going to show you step by step how to do that. It costs about 22 bucks for the filter and a little bit of time. So we'll go over to the tool bench and show you what tools you're going to need to make this modification. Okay, so not a whole lot of stuff needed here for this. You're going to need a couple of Allen wrenches, a 5mm and a 4mm, I think is all that's going to be needed. You need something to turn those Allens. I have a T-handle here. You can also use a ratchet. Phillips screwdriver. You're going to need something to clean off the residue and remove the stock filter. And then you need the polarizing filter itself. And I'll have a link in the description down below on the one that I used. This one is a high contrast linear polarizer. Okay, so first we'll take our 4mm Allen, remove this small cover right below the display. Next we have 3 Allen bolts, one here, here, and here. These are the 3 bolts that are going to hold the display on the bike. So we remove those, again with the 4mm Allen. Alright, and this third one down here is going to be a little tough to get to, so the easiest thing to do is to remove the 4 bolts that hold this outer cover on. That way you can kind of pull it back a little bit to access that third bolt. That's going to be a 5mm Allen. Okay, now we can kind of pull this back, and that's going to give us a way to get in to the last bolt. And now we can get to our 4mm, final one here in the back. Next step is you take this rubber boot here. You can actually pull out a little bit so you can access it. You can see on the back of the panel itself, once you pull that boot back, there's a tab that you have to press down to unplug it from the display. So we'll press that in and pull it straight out. Now we can go back to the workbench and disassemble this. Alright, so next I'll take my Phillips screwdriver, and there's going to be 7 Phillips screws on the back side of the display that need to be removed in order to open it up. So we'll take those out now. That should be all 7. So now that we have all of our screws out, we're going to pull this apart and open it. Don't need the back half for now, so you can set that aside. You just simply need to kind of wiggle out the display itself, and then that is what you're going to be working with here. On top of the display is some sort of UV film, so we need to remove that film to apply the polarizing film, which is going to change the color on the display. So I've found that the easiest way to remove this covering is to take a knife or a small utility blade or something in the very corner. This focuses and you can see it coming up. So basically just pull it back enough without scratching the actual lens below it. Pull it back enough so that you can grab a hold of it and then slowly peel it off. It probably helps that it's feels like it's 200 degrees in here today, so that the residue doesn't stay on the lens. So you see it, you can see it coming off here. Just keep on, peel it slowly until you get it all the way off. So now you can see that there's a little bit of residue still left on the display, so we need to clean this off. I find the best thing to clean off sticker residue is Honda spray polish, so I'm going to put a little bit of that on there, and I'll use a clean microfiber towel to wipe it off. Just want to put just enough to get a small coating on there, keep on spraying and wiping until we get it all off. Another thing to be aware of is that there's some small pins that go inside of these two sockets right here. That's these little guys here. They fall out when you take the screen off, so just don't lose them because you will need that. Okay, so now that we have the display clean and all the residue from the factory filter off of it, we need to plug it back into the bike. We're not going to put the housing and stuff back together yet. Just simply bring it over to the bike, plug it back into the socket, into the wire harness. We'll turn on the key. Don't be alarmed because you will not be able to see anything on there until you put the polarizer over the screen. And I'm not sure how good this is going to come out on the camera, but one thing to note that this polarizing filter has a protective film on both sides, and only one side of the film is adhesive. So you need to determine which side is the sticky side, and what you're going to do is place it over the screen until, let's see if I can get that, until you find the darkest setting, which appears to be somewhere around 45 degrees on this particular sheet. So basically, if you turn it, you'll see that it changes color. But you want to find the darkest setting here so that I can cut this out. So what I've done is found the best angle to place the polarizing filter, and I've put a sticky note just along the top edge, so that way, if you can see that, let's see, let me zoom out. So yeah, you take the filter and you turn it until you find the right angle. And what I've done is I put a piece of sticky note. You can use a piece of tape or whatever you have, but just something to mark that top edge, just so that you know the correct angle to cut it. We're going to cut it out so that it fits the display. Now what I'm going to do is put this on my workbench and just lay this out so that I can mark it. I'll use the old polarizer and stick it down to the new piece. And then we'll use some scissors to just cut it out. It does give you plenty of material to work with, so if you happen to mess up, not a big deal. It can always be done a few times with one sheet. So now all we need to do is remove the adhesive backing from the back side of the polarizer. What I like to do is just remove just a small portion of it. Just try to fold it over. Definitely don't want any fingerprints on the glue, because you will see that on your display. Just kind of fold it over a little bit, and then we can position it into place. Don't worry about the fingerprints on the front, because I still have the protective wrap on that portion. So just carefully line it up. And then now you can kind of flip it up, pull this back, just working it down as you go to work out any air that might be underneath it. Let's continue all the way across. Alright, until you have it all the way on. Okay, so once you have it down, before you remove the protective covering, make sure that you have it, all the corners and any little marks underneath it that might have shown up, just rub them out until you get it 100% down. Once you have it down, then you can remove the protective cover. Try not to touch the display, that way you don't have anything else to clean. Alright, once you have it completely removed, Now you can put it back together. So there was a little rubber pad also that I knocked off. If yours is still on there, then that's great, but if not, it goes right here, right above the control buttons here. You have to press the little button mechanisms right back into their slots, like so. If you dirtied up the inside of the screen, now's the best time to clean that. Go ahead and press it into place. Make sure that your buttons work. Once you have that on, we can put the back and then reinstall the 7 screws. Careful not to over tighten these. Okay, now we're ready to reinstall the display on the bike. And we just need to set the display back into its mounting location. And we can install the 3 bolts on the back side. We can plug the display back in. Just be careful, make sure you get it in the right position. Snap it back in, slide the boot all the way back on. Reinstall the 4 bolts that hold on the front cover. And then lastly, the cover on the back of the display. Snaps right back in. Alright, that should do it. Alright, let's take a look at that one more time. There it is, inverted display. Again, a link in the description for the filter that we use. Really easy to do, 22 bucks. I think $7 shipping, so $29 total. And it takes all of about an hour or so to make the modification. So thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel out tremendously. Hopefully we'll get some more modifications done here real soon. And I'll see you in the next one. Ride safe.